Okay, so we're going to start with the chat server. So it's in Python, and we're going to start sort of at the entry. Server IP, just setting up certain class variables. Server IP is localhost. Port number, just taken from standard input. Um, the amount of bytes that a single message is going to take is 100 is 1 kilobyte. Looks like clients, which is going to be the list of active connections and their names, the list of active sockets and their names. Then we're going to be looking at serve socket, which is the socket that's going to be listening for connections and receiving messages is created here. Down here, again, this is just sort of boilerplate code that I saw from class files. I don't really know what they do exactly. This file here, also I really don't know what it does. I guess the server here listens, whatever that is. Okay, so while true, we're setting an input to accept. So we're going to go up here to see what that does. So it it's going to continuously accept socket connections, as we saw, because it's a while true loop. Name, it's going to, the way I set it up is that every new connection has to send a name before it does anything else. Yes, this is extremely insecure. However, you've talked very much in class about how unsecure networks are, so we're just gonna go with it. Here is where we're sort of taking our global list, and I know it's an extremely sloppy way to do this, but I just needed to get the assignment done, so this is how I'm doing it. It's the global list for the socket, the open socket connections and their names. And then we're starting for every new connection. We're creating a we're creating like a receiver and a sender thread for each one. So here, where the class is, this is just sort of a boilerplate. This is creating a class that inherits allowing it to become a thread. So we accept the socket and the name, and this is the run where it sort of spins off its own process. We accept global clients, again, the socket connections, and whenever the class changes it, as in whenever it accepts a new connection, where is it? Up here. The global clients variable that's in the thread is also going to get updated. It's a nice singular Python. Again, very sloppy, but I'm only running one thread, so I figured that it would be okay. So here we're receiving receiving, as we see it. Receiving, I'll explain what that is now. Receiving is just taking input for taking the input over the network. Once it takes the name, if the name is a good name, we accept the data. Then we print it out just on the thing, on the standard output, and then it works. Then for every entry in clients, this is where we're going to broadcast out to every connection that didn't send this message, to every single connection that didn't send it. Okay, and if not, we're going to close the connection. And here and in close is where we delete it from the active connections list and close the socket. Okay, so now going on to chat client, it's much more simple. Again, setting file variables, setting program variables. This is all. These two lines are again the boilerplate code. I don't really know what it does, but that's what was in class. So here we do socket.send. We send the name. Once we connect to the server, we send our name, and then we go and send the then we start the process to receive all messages from the server that are broadcast by other chat clients that are logged into the server. So we'll look at that in a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to finish going down to the rest of the file. So your messages just takes standard input. If the message is a good message, we send it. We send our name, and then we send. Yeah, we send our name, and then we send the message. So if something's wrong, if it's not a good message, we just close the socket. Okay, so now up to the receiver thread that sort of spins off. We inherit the thread. The socket that the socket that we're using to listen to the server, the receiver gets. And then when we run the thread, we decode the data that the server sends us, and then we print it out, and that's it. So we're going to look at how it runs. It's not, it doesn't work perfectly. So we're going to run the chat server. We're going to run the chat client. We're going to say hello. We're going to start another chat client. We see already the chat client was, the chat has accepted it. Hello. We're going to see the other chat client after we say hello back. It's going to take it, and it's going to say who it's from. However, I've got to say, when I close the method, it doesn't work perfectly. As we see, it doesn't maintain. However, every other one, it prints something. I don't understand where it gets this. So when we create a new connection, it recognizes it and it takes it, but it doesn't work completely. And I didn't get a chance to figure out why. So it works a little bit. I don't really know why. I know I didn't get 100% on the assignment, but this is what I'm dealing with. See you next time.